What a fucking
gamer. Hey gamers, welcome back. It's your boy Mason here with some more Spellbreak content, and I gotta tell you, the Conduit class is ridiculously broken. Now yes, I know about the PC aim assist bug. For those of you who don't know, the FPS affects how strong aim assist is. So running at like 240 FPS gives you really strong aim assist, compared to like 30 when you're on a console. The only downside is of course you need to have a PC and a controller, but that's pretty common these days anyway. Now, on to my main topic here. I've crunched the numbers, I've done the math, I've ran the calculations, and you could say we've got a shocking problem. Now there's two aspects to damage in Spellbreak: the potential damage and the counterplay or ability to hit it. In terms of raw damage potential per full mana pool, lightning is behind fire, toxic and stone, and frost depending on which talents you take. Focused mana and recklessness, neither of which you should actually be taking anyway, but still. Now this is all assuming legendary gear, mainly Gauntlet and Amulet, which is fairly likely in the final couple of circles. But let's think about the conditions of the damage from these gauntlets. Fire is a fairly fast moving projectile, but also fairly easy to dodge the further the distance is away from you and the target. And it's also much harder to hit if you don't have high ground. And the size of it isn't too big either, so you have to be pretty accurate with where it goes. Then there's Toxic, which is basically your shotgun, and it requires you to be pretty darn close to hit all of your projectiles. There's up to 10 of them, and past 5 meters ish you're going to be hitting maybe 2/3, and then at something like 10 meters you're going to only hit like 4 maybe if you're lucky. And then we have Stone, which is the current one Reddit's been raging about recently, and let's be real, it does just about nothing if you're in the air. And you can also stand behind like a small wall or just on a different platform, so it's fairly easy to avoid. And finally we have Frost, basically the sniper gauntlet. It can be super deadly if you're caught out in the air or you're just not paying attention, just running in a straight line. But in a straight man fight, you know, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, fucking useless. Just, it does, you know, if you miss one shot, you're actually just out of the fight. But then, let's think about lightning. How do you hit lightning? It's basically point and click. You know, very fastest projectile in the game, and that makes it probably the most consistent DPS gauntlet to have. Wind is also very fast, but it's a slower projectile than lightning by far, and the damage drops off dramatically at longer ranges. But yeah, so because of the fast fire rate of lightning as well, means missing is less punishing. You know, you miss an ice lance, and you can't kill someone with 200 HP with that mana pool. You know, you have to kind of disengage for a bit. But lightning, you know, miss a couple shots, kind of fine. Whereas you missed a frostbolt, or ice lance, sorry, they still have about 60 HP. So let's say you do miss your ice lance or your fireball. You winning the fight now depends on the Conduit player making a mistake. So maybe you think you can run. Lightning's very fast. You can't outrun it, you know. It's not fire or stone where you just run away and jump occasionally. Maybe you've got a flight rune and think you can fly away. Nope. You just got beamed. Invis maybe? Only slightly behind wind, lightning is the best at trying to de-stealth someone. Just spray in the general direction and one of those bolts is bound to find a target. Maybe you're Frost and think you can just skate away. Nope. You're riding the lightning now, kid. Conduit will shock your icy path and then that'll hit you too. Now if this didn't paint a bad enough picture, lightning also gets a free rune charge every 15 seconds with lightning strike, starting from when they enter the first circle. You might think that's just a free runic fluency, but the second rune charge lasts indefinitely, so you can use lightning strike randomly 5 minutes before a fight, use your rune, lightning strike again, and now you have another charge. So you can potentially get up to 3 rune charges with just basic preparation before a fight. That's not all Lightning Strike does. It also allows you to cast spells with no mana cost for 4 seconds. This applies to both the Conduit's gauntlets, meaning they're able to get more out of your main gauntlet than you are. Now, when I play Conduit, I like to have a Toxicology offhand, because it covers all of the weaknesses, namely someone peeking me and someone getting up close and personal. Toxic Cloud can block off a doorway someone is sniping from, and you can zap it as well if they're sticking around for massive AoE, which will also apply shock. Lightning Strike does a similar thing, but I prefer to use that when they're above me and the cloud is too difficult to hit. Then Toxic Spray also allows me to win fights where someone is in my face or in an enclosed space like inside, especially the castle area, a lot of close quarters there, and even early on in the game. Obviously you have to find the gauntlet first, but fights tend to be very up close and personal. People don't have a lot of runes to use, and maybe they don't even have one. And speaking of runes, when I play Conduit, I like Dash and Shadow Step, because they both allow me to dodge fireballs and shockwaves with ease. Slow projectiles, predictable pathing, and I can just zip out of there basically. They also allow me to beat down any Toxicology user. I can hit them with a quick Lightning Strike for a shock, dash in and give them a taste of their own medicine. As for a more mobile class like Tempest, which can actually win the DPS race if they stay in the air and keep their Squall ability up, it provides 20% spell damage and 10% damage reduction. Now, the issue here is they have to stay in the air to keep it up, and they also want to be spending their mana on hitting me, so they need to stand directly above me to use their Wind Strike to hit both me and the ground, keeping them in the air. Dash allows me to get out from under beneath them, and also allows me to cast a shock if they decide to stay there, and then once they're shocked they fall to the ground and they're an easy kill from there. Finally we have Frost. Now the beauty of Conduit versus Frost is they can't fully charge an Ice Lance if we're in range for Lightning Strike. So if they try it, I can hit them with Lightning Strike and apply shock, and then they can't do anything for 2 seconds, and that gives me time to run up on them and really close the distance, because the closer I get the easier it is to dodge Ice Lance. Now if they're in somewhere close quarters and I get up close and personal with them, I hit them with the Toxic Spray, and Flash Freeze actually blocks lightning bolts from going into it, so the mage can stay in there for, I think it's about 2 seconds the kind of immunity field lasts, but Toxic Spray will just go straight through, so that's fine. And if they're out in the open, of course, I just lightning bolt them, and that should out DPS them. And of course I have Dash if I need to use it. They have a Stone, which is a fairly common offhand for ice. Very easily dodge with Dash. I hope this has elucidated why I think Conduit is overpowered and needs to be nerfed. Now personally, I don't mind Lightning Bolt being a nearly hit scan ability, but I think it should require more ramp up time. Maybe lower the damage and increase the scaling on potential energy. Something like make it do 5 less damage, but then every cast of it increases damage by 2, up to maybe, let's say, 10 stacks of it, so you get plus 20, up until you stop casting. And this also plays into Power Surge, making Conduit a menace if you're able to free cast, but very weak and bursty encounters, allowing for more counterplay. I think the Overload rune charge should only last a certain duration, maybe 5 seconds, with the duration paused while casting Lightning Bolt, allowing you to plan a few steps ahead in an encounter. And finally, Secondary Strikes seems pretty useless. It allows you to block off a zone for 3.3 seconds, but the map never really feels small enough for it to be relevant. It's a very, very niche ability. So I was thinking maybe it could move slowly towards a target, or even have just a larger area of effect. Or if they really want to go all out, make it kind of supercharge yourself, so you can self-cast it, you get like a damage increase, or I don't know, fully recharge your mana, something like that. I'm not too sure, and I'm no game designer. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe, and comment if you agree or disagree with anything I have said. Thanks for watching, and enjoy this gameplay.